And we are live with another edition of Let's Talk Broncos with Kurt Valenti. Good evening, Mr. Valenti. How are you?
I am good. How are you, Mrs. Valenti? I am not gonna lie, I'm still um reeling and a little PO'd over my St. John's Red Storm not getting into the NCAA tournament. But
Yeah, bitter. You're bitter.
I'm bitter. But you know what happens when you're bitter? Ricky P. Go out and get him. Rapino, not Rapino, what's his name? Rapoli. Rapino, I'm thinking of a nutcase. Rapoli. Um, Go get your cash, go get the players, do whatever you got to do. And you know what? Let's do it to where you take it out of their hands next year and they can't keep you out. But other than that, I'm ready for March Madness, excited for the tournament. How are you after last night?
Listen, that's that was had the potential of happening to UVA last night. So, I can't be completely surprised. They've put in performances like that this year. It's amazing. He's gotten 23 wins out of that team. It was disappointing. It gave fodder to the people who thought they shouldn't have been there. I think that's what I'm most upset about, because he is not only a fantastic coach, but he is a man of impeccable character. So, that is why I love Tony Bennett, and he will right the ship. So,
Okay.
yep.
Over it already though?
Oh yeah, moving on. Absolutely.
Really?
Yep, 100%. This
You know
team
what?
overachieved.
Mm,
What? You don't
we can
please. He's
discuss
got
that.
no
But
one on that team. It's a
you know what?
credit to
Sometimes
the
I'm going to be honest, Jen. Sometimes, and I've always said this, especially when it comes to like football and playoff games, right? Like, I've saw, well, one, two, three. I saw four Super Bowl blowouts, right, with my Broncos, right? Like just total blowouts where we never had a shot, and those games don't hurt me.
I
It's
was going to say if they had gotten further into the tournament and lost a heartbreaker, it'd be
right.
harder to take.
Right. But you know what? When you look back again, like talking about the Broncos, it's the tough loss to the Jaguars in the playoffs. It's the Raven game that gets you. Those Super Bowls, it's those they were over from the get go. So it was like there's no, you look what it. I mean, I'll be honest. Like I lose by 40, lose by 2, it's still a loss, and that loss isn't going to hurt you. It not hurt you, but haunt you. It's over. It's done with. Move on. So I've always said that. Um, Want to give a shout out to everybody in Colorado or in the area. The Colorado Buffaloes are playing right now, up 19-16 over Boise. So I want to definitely give a shout out to all our friends from Colorado who are also Buffalo fans.
Well, speaking of fellow Denver Broncos fans, we have Michael checking in saying good evening, Kurt and Jen. Good evening, Michael. Thank you for watching.
There he is, the one and only Michael Ronquillo. What's going on, Michael? Hope everything is well.
Though I believe Michael is in when we're talking college hoops is an Arizona fan, if I'm not
Yes, he is.
mistaken.
Well, he's excited. And Michael,
Yeah,
I got your boys going to the Final Four. So
as do I, and he brought it up on our Selection Sunday show, and I agree. They have the incentive to get there because it's that Final Four is being hosted in Arizona. So we
yeah,
have Kenny checking in saying good evening, Jen and Kurt. Jen, the problem I have with Virginia is you can't go down more than 10 at any time in a game. Well, it depends on what Tony Bennett team you have, right? These past few teams have had trouble scoring, right? So, it's true. It's true. It's they can't overcome a deficit like that because they go through large scoring droughts. It's the truth. Yep. And then we got Wayne checking in saying, "Good evening, Broncos family."
what's up, Wayne? Jen, can I throw a question on you that's kind of that is kind of what we've been talking week after week after week on this show?
What's that?
Okay. And the thing about Sean Payton and how he didn't adjust to Russ and he's what's the word? Not greedy. I can't think of the word. Stingy, greedy. Oh my God.
Stubborn.
Stubborn, right? Stubborn. It's gotta be like this. It's gotta be like this. It's gotta be like this. Tony Bennett came out today and just said, I gotta evaluate like the system and what do you feel now? And do you equate that at all to anything that's going on that went on with Sean Payton, now going on with Virginia and Bennett?
know if I would equate Tony Bennett to Sean Payton in that respect because he like like Sean Payton didn't get his quarterback, right? Like he didn't want Russ, so he didn't want to you know give in and like do what maybe fit Russ better. Tony Bennett recruits players for his team and for his system, so that's a little bit different in that respect. But I respect him for saying that he thinks he needs to kind of like revamp. Listen, the game, there's a lot of things that are changing the game, right? I mean, recruiting is different with the NILs. The transfer portal is different. You got kids jumping ship constantly. So he might in the past maybe didn't have to really think about it, but I give him credit for saying he might need to rethink. It
Right.
was evident with this team. It was glaringly obvious. Let me get in a here. Want me getting? Did you want to respond to that or
What, Kenny's question or
no?
the
No,
one I
your
asked you?
question. Your
No, I
question. What
just
you
wanted your
said to
opinion
me.
on it because, we talk a lot about Sean Payton and, doing what the players do best and switching up. And yeah, I just wanted to get your point on it.
You know what?
Well,
I think he had I think the bigger I'm going to be completely honest. I think the bigger problem for Virginia right now is who they're recruiting. I do. They're not getting the athletes, but people aren't. I think the bigger problem is not about his system, is that nobody wants to play in that system. That's the bigger problem. Because you know what? When he had Kyle Guy and oh my God, why are their names all escaping me right now? I can't think of the point guard's name and
Ty
the DeAndre
Jerome,
Hunt,
DeAndre
Ty Jerome
Hunter.
and DeAndre Hunter, right? Even
Right.
Mamdi Diakite. Like those guys did play his system, but you know what? Ty Jerome could create shots. Kyle Guy could create shots, but also
Right.
knock down 3-point
But I
shooter.
guess my question is again, in a perfect world, right? Like, okay, in a perfect world, Sean Payton has quote unquote the next Drew. I mean, now listen, he can't have Drew Brees. He ain't gonna play till he's 60, but the next Drew Brees who could do this, who could do that, he could do that. I have Alvin Kamara. But it doesn't work like that, right? It doesn't work like that. That's not what you have, even by drafting, right? Like, there's not, listen, any team in the NFL would go and say, I'm going to draft Drew Brees and draft Alvin Kamara. What makes
Well,
them
but I
special is
think
the difference. So what my point though is, and I think on both of them, they're both wrong is, you know what? Like, yeah, okay, I want to do this, I want to do that. But hey, I got this guy, this isn't working. Like yesterday, their offense. Get them in a full court press. Let's press a little bit. Let's do this. Let's,
you know what
you know,
those are things that are hard to do on the fly in what's potentially your last game of the season.
what I'm
If
saying
that's something,
all
let,
season
let me
long,
let me
Joe.
finish. Let me finish, please. Right? If you like, I'm not disagreeing with you, but maybe that's something he should have implemented along the way. Like for example, my example with Sean Payton is that like he never adjusted to Russ, or he see that's my big problem with Sean Payton. I feel like he did adjust to Russ, and then when Russ was successful, I feel like he didn't like it, and that's when he got
Right.
benched.
And that's exactly the part of like, hey, Sean Payton probably is a pass first guy, right? He always had Drew Brees, yada yada. But you know what? This team was built, and that's why what doesn't make sense is like you spent the money on Powers and McGlinchey, right? Like you're kind of, hey, we're building a power run game team, and then when it worked, you were like, hmm, the jet game, we only gained 6 yards a carry. Let's get away from that. Like that's the stuff that's got to change. That's got to change.
So the one thing I'm going to say, and then I want to get to some of the comments, and
Sure.
we can move on, is that like, Sean Payton, I have no problem with him believing in his system and trying to acquire a quarterback that fits that. But let's say he does draft Bo Nix or JJ McCarthy, and he wants to implement his quote unquote system, right? And it's not working, then like it's a long season. He needs to make the adjustments then. Like I have no problem with him trying his
But
getting
but
the
here's the
quarterback
thing: is
and
he going to do
trying
that,
with
or is
what
he
he
going
was.
to? But
Can
is
I
he going to do that, or
finish? Can
blame
I
the quarterback?
Can I finish a sentence?
Yeah,
And trying what they hired him for a reason. And now they're giving him the opportunity to get the quarterback of his choice. So you know what? He should be afforded the opportunity to try it. But you know what? You don't get a whole season. You
right.
know,
No,
you
you're
might have
right.
to make an adjustment on the fly. So I'm gonna get to Kenny's question in a moment, but Jody saying, "Can he send me a Colorado State University tee from Colorado?" No, thank you. Don't need one. No, thank you. All right, let's.
Everybody was giving like check on Jen tonight, make sure she's okay. Is never, you know. So you got a lot. Hey, a lot of people care about you, Jen. I'll tell you
Well,
that.
thank you. That's very nice. All right, let's get to some of these questions here. Kenny says he's starting you off with an easy one. Are the Broncos in tank mode this year?
No, I absolutely don't believe they are. Um, Listen, are they in tank mode? No. Are they going to be good if it's Jared Stidham? No, but they're not tanking. He's not a good quarterback. But no, they're not tanking because again, if you were tanking, then there's no reason to hold on to a Cortland Sutton. You know, like move Sertan. You know, you know, DJ Jones. So no, no. And again, I don't believe the tanking is in Sean Payton's blood. I really don't. Um, I just think, he's got to get his quarterback, and we're all in bed with him. So we got to get our quarterback. We got to get it.
We got Jody saying, "Go give 3 1s and get Herbert's."
Yeah. Listen, I would do it. I would do it. I don't know if Hardball. See, here's the interesting thing, Jen. I brought this up a couple of things, right? He's a JJ McCarthy guy, Hardball, right? That's his guy. He said it. He should be the number one pick, yada yada. It wouldn't be crazy for him to say, "Hey, I could draft him at 5. That's my guy. I want to run this offense with him, and now get 3 number ones for Justin Herbert." Why not? Why, if it's ever going to happen, do it now because you could get your guy. I just don't think he'll trade Herbert into the division, but absolutely, I would give 3 1s tomorrow for Justin Herbert.
And Trevor wants to know, good evening, Trevor. Thanks for checking in. Are the Broncos going into this draft quarterback needy?
Yeah, absolutely. We got nothing. We got nothing. We got the worst quarterback room in football. Absolutely, we are. 100% we are.
And Ween saying, we knew as soon as the Broncos brought in Sean that Russ and Sean wasn't going to work.
You know what? Yeah, I agree. And, you know, again, I'm a Sean Payton guy, Jen. Super Bowl, he's got the pedigree. And listen, if he sold you on, I'll try it 1 year and it's his guy, once he gets his guy, we're going to be making Super Bowl runs. That's all good and dandy. But he's got one guy. He's not getting this guy and the next guy. He's getting one guy because he caused major cap insanely issues with the Russ move.
Well, you know
So
what? On that note, we've got Christian Raymond checking in
what's up,
saying, "God bless
Christian?
Peyton if he can do anything with the cap hell they are in." I just wanted to get that in since you mentioned the cap.
Yeah, Christian's the man. I want to give a shout out. Jen, I know we talk about it with oh my god, my mind is blank with
Northern Highlands.
yeah, Northern Hines. What's his name? Oh my god. I
The
don't believe
coach?
Coach Cord.
Okay.
Coach Cord. I want to give a shout out. We always talk when I always go by Dr. Raymond, and Dr. Raymond is the man. I'm telling you, he's the best. And he's a Jeff fan. And for Christian, I want to say this. We had, who joined us tonight? Mr. Beelan joined us tonight, Jen.
Okay.
And Mr. Beelan, a big time Jet fan. And I want to say, because I was talking very high on the show about the Jets, saying I think the Jets are a Super Bowl contender with Rodgers. And Beelan said to me, I don't know what Kurt's smoking because they're not even a playoff team. And that's coming from a Jet fan. So I would love to hear Christian's comments on now. Look what he said with his comment. But I'm telling you, man, the Jets got a nice tackle, Mike Williams. The Jets have all their chips in. If we're in bed with Sean Payton, Christian might not even know it, but him and all those Jet fans, they're way in bed with Aaron Rodgers. They're all in bed with Aaron Rodgers. So I'm in bed with Sean. Christian's in bed with Aaron. That's how we do it on here. And we just, all the Bronco fans, that's what we are. That's what it is. So we're doing it with Sean. You're doing it with Aaron. But I think the Jets are going to be very good because why? I believe Aaron Rodgers is the second best quarterback in football or the best quarterback in football. I do. I truly do.
We got Pearl checking in
What's up,
saying
Pearl?
hello. Hey, Pearl, thanks for watching. And back to Kenny's tanking comment question that he asked you. He disagrees. He feels like when they released Russ, that put them in tank mode. And we had Trevor, I think it was, Wayne checking in on that as well, saying, I believe Sean got the best he could out of Russ. He wasn't going to get us into the playoffs. Let me back up because I feel like I missed some comments here
Yep,
along the
sure.
way. Oh, Jody's asking you, this is a good one. Would you go with Tannehill or Stidham?
I don't believe I'm saying this, Jen. Which way do you think I'm going?
I just can't imagine you're going to go Stidham.
No, I'm not. I got to go Tannehill. Stidham, I saw enough. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want Stidham on the roster. I really don't. I don't even want him as my backup. I don't. I don't think he's worthy of a backup in NFL. I saw enough. We're going to get sparked. We're going to do that. He's terrible. He's terrible. Okay, he's terrible. As a backup, could he make? Yeah, but I don't want like whoever my starter is to go down and then I got to put him in. No way. Absolutely no way. So I got to take Tannehill over him. I don't know who I would take Stidham over. Honestly, I would take Stidham over Teddy Bridgewater. I would take Stidham over Jacoby. I don't even know what I would do. Seriously,
Let me get in some people's comments answering Jody's questions. We had Kenny saying it better be Tannehill. Christian Raymond saying Tannehill still has some gas in the tank. Pearl agreeing Stidham is awful. And then we got Mr. Brugman checking in for Denver Bronco Roundup as well. Kurt, do you believe that Spencer Rattler will
be an option?
Oh, be an option. Okay, be an option in the draft.
What's up? And you know what? Before I answer that, Jen, I want to give a major shout out to the Denver Bronco Roundup. This show is an awesome, awesome Bronco show. They're on Tuesdays. They're on Fridays. During the season, they do post games at night. That's Keith Brugman, Jody Moncrief, Albert Knoppers, Trevor Salzman. These guys are awesome. Please check it out. I'm telling you, they do everything. They're calm, Jen. They're not like me. They're calm. They don't get crazy, but listen, intelligent. Just trust me. You guys want to listen to Bronco Show? Denver Bronco Roundup tonight. And you know what? Those guys, they're awesome guys. They're all friends. We always say they're our cousins, but we're family with them. They come on our show. We come on their show. They're awesome guys, and it's an awesome show, Denver Bronco Roundup. Now, getting back to Keith's thing, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna trust Sean Payton with this draft. I really am. And when I say draft, Jen, I'm gonna trust Sean Payton with his quarterback. If he says to me, hey, I could make Spencer Rattler a Super Bowl quarterback, go get him. Go get him. I'm not against it. I'm not against him picking any quarterback in this draft. I'm really not. But I want it to be his guy. And I want it to be his guy and all in on his guy. Not, all right, we'll see what it could be like. We're not going to take a 6th round pick, right? Like, here's my thing. We're not going to take a 6th round quarterback. Okay. And we're going to make him, Josh Allen. That's not going to happen. But if he says, hey, Spencer Rattler is my guy, man, this guy, listen, I would take him at the end of the 1st round. We can get him in the 2nd or 3rd. And listen, we're going to win a championship with this guy. Go get him. Go get him. Go all in. I'm down for it. I'm 100% down for it. So yeah, you know what? Spencer Rattler came out. He was a Heisman candidate. Then he obviously transferred with the whole thing with, oh my God, my mind's blank today. Caleb went to Oklahoma. He left. So listen, yeah, if that's his guy and he says, I want him, all in.
Well, we got Peter Johnson checking in saying Stidham over Rattler. And then we have Pearl replying to Peter saying no way. But I love this because you were talking about how they're a calm show. And Peter Johnson says, I'm not calm, LOL. I want to win now.
Damn right, like, Peter. You know what? I love Peter. Peter's got to come on the show. Damn right. I want to win now too. Listen, 2015 and 2016, that's a long time ago. And there's pictures and trophies in this sports room. And hey, thank you, Peyton. Thank you, John Elway. Thank you to that running game, Kubiak, and that defense. But enough is enough. Let's go. We could win right now. We got the head coach to do it. You need that hey, Andy Reid walks in that room. You know what? Nathaniel Hackett, that ain't walking in the room. Vic Fangio, that ain't walking in the room. Sean Payton, that's walking in the damn room because now I can match him. I got a Super Bowl champion. So let's go. Let's get this done. You know what? I loved Russell Wilson. Russ got a free, but that's done. That's done. Let's turn it over. Let's go. Get this guy his coach and let's win. Just like Pete says, I want to win now. I don't care about 6 years down the road. I really don't. We'll worry about 6 years down the road. 6 years down the road. We got to worry about now. I want to start winning now.
I love Jody's comment. Stidham over nobody.
I mean, it's true though. Like,
all right.
I seen enough. Cut them. Let's go.
We got a question from Christian saying, would Sean be interested in taking on Zach Wilson as a reclamation project? He feels the Jets never developed him and that he has an arm and some athleticism, maybe just needs some maturity and development. What do you think?
I'm going to say this and I'm going to sound this is going to sound crazy. Okay. I actually loved Zach Wilson coming out of BYU. And the reason is, and again, I'm going to say, we're looking at Mahomes and he's not Patrick Mahomes, but he makes that like, wow throw, and you're like, oh my God. And again, you got to look at what he worked at. You got to look at what he's been under. Again, I don't take anything into effect from last year because when he's under Nathaniel Hackett, I don't count anything, because it's the guy's the worst offensive coordinator probably in maybe in NFL history. All right. It's not a personal thing. It's just, he's not good. So you got to wipe away last year. Christian's a big time Jet fan, and he's actually saying they didn't develop him. They didn't do it right. Does he have talent? He does. I'd rather have Zach Wilson over Jacoby Brissett. I'd rather have him over Teddy Bridgewater. I'd rather have him over, I would rather have him over Jarrett Stidham. I mean, I've seen enough. So if you said to me, Zach Wilson or Stidham, I would go Zach Wilson. I'm sorry. I would take Zach Wilson over Stidham.
2 comments from Wayne here that I want to get to. Wayne saying that you're getting him fired up.
Let's go.
Let's go. That's a good question.
Let's go. You know what, Wayne? Let's go get the damn quarterback and let's go. Let's stop all the BS and let's go.
That's a great segue into his question. He wants to know who you think Sean's guy is.
I think it's one of 3, Jen. I really do. I really think JJ McCarthy's on that list. Okay. I also think Drake May is on that list. And I think a little bit with Bo Nix. I think those are the 3 guys. I think Drake May hasn't been talked about because there was always no, he's going to be drafted 2nd or 3rd. There's no way, but he's fallen a little now, he's fallen a little. So, I think there's a little more. I think he's always kind of been his type of quarterback, right? The pocket quarterback who is mobile, the big arm. I think Drake May fits that. JJ McCarthy is just, I don't know, man. You know me, Jen. Nothing against you, but that's my man crush is JJ McCarthy. I'm sorry. The fired up. He's the champion. He's worked in a pro offense. I know people are going to say, well, he didn't vote for this. Again, go watch the TCU loss 2 years ago in that college football playoff. He threw that game. He brought that team back time after time after time. And he didn't have to. That's not what Harbaugh asked. But this kid's a winner. He makes every big throw. Every time it's a big situation. Boom, in the college football playoff versus Alabama versus, versus Washington. The kid is just, I'm telling you, in a pro offense already. Can make every throw. I like him. And you know what? We're going to get Bo Nix, man. Listen, I know a lot of people keep saying there's a little Drew Brees, in Bo Nix. And you see it a little bit, right? Can make every throw. I love about him, though. He's got that fired upness. He's got that leadership, right? He's got that athleticism to make a play. I think it's one of those three. If I had to pick, I mean, I don't know. I think it's JJ McCarthy, but
But who was your third one? You said JJ McCarthy, Bo Nix, and who was the third one?
Drake May. Drake May,
Oh, okay. I didn't
North
hear that.
Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Whatchamacallit? Well, we haven't really even fully gotten to the
Let's keep with
agenda.
the comments, Jen. We keep with the comments. It's awesome with the rolling in.
No, I'm saying that we have been doing that, but we can kind of get to the agenda on this first one, and that's a nice little opening for it. Because what is the case for drafting Bo Nix?
Again, you know what it is, Jen? Winner, right? Um, you know, here's the thing, the it factor. And when I say the it factor, like you need that quarterback, right? That's going to be, what's the word? Like we don't like Mahomes on this show, right? Like he's like the poison word, right? Because he's a chief and everything. But why don't we like Mahomes? Why didn't we like Brady? Right? Because they had that like MF attitude, like, what I'm saying? Get in your face, let's go, all that kind of stuff. You need that as a quarterback. You really do. You need that. That gets the team like, I want to play with that guy. That guy's going to leave me there. And Bo Nix has that. Bo Nix has
Moxie.
that moxie
Moxie.
since he was a freshman with Gus Malzahn beating Oregon in opening night, giving the pound sign, like the pound thing that Gus did. I mean, that was a freshman at Alabama where, his father was the quarterback. And I loved him, man. I have a Bo Nix Auburn jersey. I loved him. A lot of stuff went wrong at Auburn with him. Coaching staff, a new coach coming in who was a terrible hire from Boise State, that did not mix with him. If you put Hugh Freeze with him, the Auburn coach now, it would have been off the charts, right? So, I don't blame him for everything, but then when he goes to Oregon, you see what he did. You see what he did with the talent. Can make every throw. He's athletic, right? He's a pocket passer first and foremost. He's a pocket passer. He doesn't have to be on the run. He could stand in the pocket, deliver, but he could run. He could make plays. He's a big play waiting to happen, but I love the moxie of him. That's what you need. When you got Mahomes doing all this and all that kind of stuff, Brady with the you know what? You need a guy to go in there. That's what I'm saying. Teddy Bridgewater, would go in there. Oh, okay, here's Teddy Bridgewater and Trevor Siemian. Like, you're not winning with those guys. You're not. You got to be in a dogfight. You got to be like, and I'll say this, and I'm going to look at the Nick wall, Jen. I always bring up the Knicks here. But those 90 Knicks, right? Those 90 Knicks with Jordan and Pippen and like Xavier McDaniel, when he went face to face with Jordan, we're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere, pal. You could do that to the Cavaliers. You ain't doing it here. I'll headbutt you. Here's Starks. Here's Mason. You need that. And as a quarterback, you need that. You got to go into Arrowhead with your let's go. I got this. Not Trevor Siemian. I'm going to 8 for 9 for 90 yards and I'm going to be quiet. No. You need that. And you know what? That's what Joe Burrow is. Jalen Hurts is that. You need that. And that's what we need from the quarterback. And that's why I like Bo Nix. Because you know what? Bo Nix is a leader. Bo Nix will be a face of a franchise. Bo Nix is that. So, you know what? I like it. Now, am I going to move up to 4 for Bo Nix? Again, listen, I have no problem with him moving up and moving anything to get who he wants, right? It doesn't matter who's my list. I'm not coaching him. You're not coaching him. Sean Payton's going to coach him. So Sean Payton, he has to have his list. And if he says, hey, my guy is Bo Nix at any cost, go get Bo Nix. Because you're not going to win. And I'm going to say we're not going to win, but nobody's not going to win with a legit quarterback in the NFL. And when I mean win, I don't mean 9-8. I mean win a championship. You're not going to do it. You're not going to draft a 6-round guy. We're going to develop him, and you're not going to do it. You're not going to get Sam Darnold and say, I'm going to make Sam Darnold into Joe Burrow. It's not going to happen. It's unrealistic. Don't waste your time. Don't waste my time. Don't waste any Bronco fans' time. Go get your quarterback. If it's Bo Nix, go get him. And you know what? I would have no problem with Bo Nix. None.
All right, well, let me get a couple comments in here. First, Trevor says that possibly having 4 quarterbacks go in the top 5, so he doesn't know realistically how Denver
I'll
can.
answer it. I'll answer it. Overpay. You got it. I was talking about this to Kenny. Kenny keeps saying, well, if the Vikings want number 6, they're going to give up number 11 and number 23. They're not. That's not what that's going to be. No, no, no. You got the Broncos. You got the Raiders. It's going to be way more than that. And you know what? Get them in a bidding war, because here's the thing. Let's play poker. I'll play poker and have Sean Payton next to me, because you know why? He don't give an F. He doesn't care about draft picks. He doesn't care about the cap 5-6 years down the road. You know why? He wants to win now, right? What did the comments say tonight? I'm sick of it. I want to win now. So do I. So does Sean. So you know what? Go win now. Who cares? You know what, Vikings? Are you willing to give up number 3? You're willing to give up your number 1 and number 3 this year, your number 1 and number 2 next year, and the number 1 and 26? Sean Payton is. Are you ready? Are you willing to do it, Vikings? Because Sean will. And you know what? Go do it, Sean. Because if you want him, go get him.
All right. So, and then kind of piggybacking off of that was, I threw this comment up before, that another case for drafting Knicks, though, would be that you probably wouldn't have to move up for them. He could still be there at 12 and maybe even later.
But yes, he true.
Is that a risk, though?
It's a risk. And you know what? We can't afford risks right now. We can't afford risks. And our number one option can't be, I like him, but I want him at 12 or move down. That's not where we're at. If we had Russell Wilson, we could do that. But we can't do that with Jarrison. We don't have a quarterback. We do not have an NFL starting quarterback on our roster. So what's the fallback? We don't have a fallback. That's why we should have never let Russell Wilson go. We should have just kept him. And then if you draft your rookie, hey, now there's a competition. Or you want to play your rookie from day one? Go hold the clipboard, Russ. But now we don't have that. So now we have to do what people don't want us to do, is trade the farm. We're going to trade the farm and more if he wants to do it. We don't have an option. We have to do it.
And Keith saying, kind of piggybacking off of here, Trevor's case for waiting on drafting Bo Nix, that there's a case for Spencer Rattler, a 5-star talent in the 3rd round.
Again, if it's his guy, Keith, I'm all in for it, But I'll tell you, he's not a project. He's coming in. He's the starting quarterback. That's like, and if Spencer, there's not going to be Spencer Rattler, and then maybe next year, like we're committing to him the day they make his pick. That's the quarterback. That's the quarterback of the future. He's got to be the quarterback this year. I don't want to hear about next year's class and 2 years class. Otherwise, I'm not wasting a pick to pick another guy next year. So it better be your guy. And when I mean your guy is Jared, this is Spencer. Spencer, this is Jared. Jared, you're going to do whatever Spencer needs to get him ready for opening day. And he's the quarterback for Sean Payton's duration in Denver. If that's what it's going to be, go get him. But I'm not drafting projects. Projects don't work. We're not drafting a project. I want a starting NFL quarterback now. That's what I want. So if you're going to put your coaching, if Sean Payton is putting his Bronco coaching career with Spencer Rattler, I'm behind it.
So, we mentioned how the potential for a lot of quarterbacks to go high, right, in the first
Now,
round
can I
there.
go back with one more thing, Jen? I'm sorry, one more thing. You asked me
Sure.
about the Bo Nix. Now, in an ideal world, okay, and I'm doing this, and this kind of gets to what Trevor's saying. If Trevor Bauer, again, we have to have intel of what's going down, who's getting drafted, but an ideal draft for me, my first case scenario is I want JJ McCarthy at any cost. Go get him. But if I can't get him at 12, if Brock Bowers is at 12, you draft Brock Bowers. And now it gets to 18, 19, 20, and Bo Nix is still there. I'm giving up next year's one, and I'm getting back in this draft, and I'm going to get Bo Nix. If Bo Nix is one of my guys. Because now if I can get out of a draft, probably the second or third best player in the draft, Brock Bowers, and my starting quarterback, let's go.
That's a nice little situation right
Let's
there.
go. It's
We
going
were
to give up
talking.
number one for next year and more. But again, you got to do it. You got to be ballsy and gutsy to make these championship moves. You're not going to sit there, okay, I don't want to trade a draft pick. I don't want to do that. Like we talk about it with the NBA too, right? Like, Knick fans, okay, hey, I want to win a championship this season. Can we win a championship? We're close, but next year, I'm not. I have all these picks. When there's a star available, give it all up, go get it, and let's go get this title. And I want to be on that parade on Broadway. Let's go. So you got to be ballsy moves. You got to, hey, I got to overpay. You got to do it because when it works, and if it works, it doesn't matter.
So, as I was saying before, we're talking about the potential for all these quarterbacks to go really high and in the first round. And Kenny's asking on that note, he's saying, um, you know, if all these quarterbacks go in the first round, how many will succeed? You've said it yourself, not many do.
Absolutely. He's right. It's not. You're going to probably have one out of this class. You'll have one like legit, like superstar star quarterback. One will be pretty good. Then you'll probably have two that are total busts. It's why you can't just go and say, I'll take Caleb Williams. If he's not there, I'll take Drake May. If he's not there, I'll take JJ McCarthy. If he's not there, I'll take Bo Nix. If not, then I'll take Daniels. It doesn't work like that. You got to go and say, these are my two. This is my one, and I'll go with him. Other than that, leave it alone. Don't chase it. Don't pick a quarterback just to pick a quarterback. You're wasting picks. So it's got to, but that's why, again, if you have a guy on that you like, all right, we'll say JJ McCarthy, do everything in your power, give up anything you can to go get JJ McCarthy. That's because Kenny's right. Now, that doesn't mean JJ McCarthy is going to be the superstar. That doesn't mean that. But you have to gamble like that. You have to do it. You can't just sit there and say, I'm going to take whatever quarterback's left at 12. That doesn't work. Where does that work? Where that's like saying as a teacher, you don't say, Jen, okay, I want to hire, here's our candidates. I'm going to hire whatever candidates left when I only like two candidates. Why would you hire the other four? You wouldn't, like it doesn't work. So go get your guy. But Kenny's right. They're all not going to work out. Only one's going to be a star, but you better make sure you know which one's going to, you feel which one's going to be that star. And if you really feel like that's him, go get him.
I mean that's the problem, right? There's no way to predict who's going to pan
No,
out, you know.
no, there's not.
So it's a risk. Keith has a question. He's saying, Kurt, at what round is the quarterback a throwaway pick? For instance, you throw away your seventh round quarterback from 2024 and pick again in 2025.
Well, I'm saying again, at what round is a quarterback a throwaway pick? For instance, you throw away your seventh round quarterback. That's a great question. I think quarterback is so different, right? Because, we sit here, Jen, and we talk about this all the time. The Cardinals did that with their first round picks, right? They picked Josh Rosen, and the next year they took Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
But you know
Yeah.
what? Were they right for doing that? In your opinion?
Well, I would say it's a very similar situation here because they got the coach from, was it Oklahoma, right? Who was
Well,
Kyler Murray's coach.
Kingsbury, right. But what I'm saying is, I think I truly believe this with a quarterback, you can never mess. And that's why you really have to look at it like this. If I look and I say I like Bo Nix, I like Bo Nix, but he's a 6 out of a 7 out of a 10. But next year, oh my God, I love Beck from Georgia. I love Sanders. Those two guys. Don't draft Bo Nix because just say you are bad and now, like say we take Bo Nix with the first round pick this year. But say next year we're really bad and we have the first round pick. if your first round pick, if you have Sanders rated so much higher than Bo Nix, at the quarterback position, you have to take him. You can never let a better quarterback go because you say, well, I drafted one or I paid one or I have. You can't do that with quarterback. Quarterback changes your franchise so much. It's different than any other position. So if I said, hey, I have Josh Rosen, but next year I can go get Kyler Murray, go get Kyler Murray. It's like if the Jaguars had a quarterback, but they could get Trevor Lawrence. You throw that other quarterback right to the curb because Trevor Lawrence is better. You always have to go get the better quarterback, no matter what it is, no matter what the situation is. So a throwaway, listen, I'm not against throwing away any pick if it's a better player. I don't have a problem with. My problem is you're not going to go into a draft by saying my plan is to draft the quarterback 6th and 7th round and see if he could eventually work out to be a star. That I'm not doing that. I don't have time. You have a 1 out of 1,000 chance it's going to work. You're not getting Tom Brady again. It's not going to happen.
Well, I mean, it's a crapshoot for these highly touted quarterbacks. I mean, now you're just putting yourself in an even like riskier situation.
That's not going to happen. Again, like we got to be realistic now. You're not going to go and say, okay, I'm going to take so and so in the 6th round. I'm just going to draft anybody and we'll see what he does. And or that's equivalent to saying I'm going to get Jacoby Brissett, and Jacoby Brissett's going to become Josh Allen. Neither one's going to happen. So don't waste anybody's time. Don't waste your time. Go draft your quarterback early. Who's your guy? Doesn't matter. Nothing should stand in your way, right? We laugh all you want, but we watch like movies or you hear, and we're going to talk a little, not in bed with Sean, Jen, but we're going to talk a little bit about, we talk everything on this show, right? We're going to talk a little bit about love, right? A little bit about love. You hear people go and say, oh, there was nothing stopping me from getting her or get her from getting it. That's what you got to do here. Don't worry about picks. Don't worry about cap space. Don't worry about, I don't care. If it's, oh my God, I love JJ McCarthy is him. JJ McCarthy is going to get us trophies number 4, 5, and 6. Do whatever the hell you got to do to go get him. I don't care. I give up 3 drafts. Go get him. Because go ahead.
Interesting stat here from Michael, right? 27 quarterbacks drafted by the number 1 pick in the NFL draft. 8 have worked out in the NFL and 19 have failed. He said he did some research on the numbers, right? So there's that backing up that risk factor. Jody saying what he likes, what Washington did. Quarterback round 1, quarterback round 3, and you got a battle.
I'm down for it. Because here's the thing. What are our options? We don't have a starting quarterback on our roster. We don't. Like, that's not even like debatable. We have right now the worst NFL quarterback room. And we don't have a quarterback that's worthy of starting in the NFL. So, I would have no problem with that, Jody. Do it. Do it.
Jody's also saying that now you're giving dating advice.
Yeah, it is. You know what? But let me ask you something. When people say, like, you laugh all you want, but I bet you someone in your life, one of your friends, I don't know if it was your mother or father, or I bet you someone has said to you, oh my God, once I saw him, I had it. I didn't care what it was. I was going to go and I was going to date him and marry him. And look where we are. That's what we got to do. That's what we have to do. We got to find them. And when we find them, go get them and marry
and be in bed with them.
And marry them. And that's it. There's no other. See, but that's why all these people that didn't want Russell Wilson, it's why it was a stupid decision. Because we do not have an option right now. If we just kept Russell Wilson, again, what did we owe Russell Wilson? Let's be totally honest. We don't owe him anything. We don't owe him a starting job. But what I'm saying is it just made us look stupid and to a part of what could possibly happen if we don't find the person and don't give everything up for the person. Because at worst, we had a legit starting football quarterback right on our roster. Okay. Hey, Russ, we just drafted a first round quarterback. Guess what, pal? Now you're in a competition. Or Russ, we're going with the rookie. You're the backup. I'm paying you. So you know what? I'm going to pay you to be on my team. And then what comes is if this draft doesn't work, the way we want it to work out, then I have a starting quarterback. I have Russ. But now we don't. We don't have a starting. Jen, do you understand this? We don't have a starting quarterback on our team. Like, I don't even know in any sport that's like comparing, like, I'm not even lying. It would be like, again, I was a high school softball coach. Okay. If you said to me, I'm the coach, I'm the coach now, but we don't have a pitcher. Well, what are we going to do? Put the jug machine and put the machine to throw? What are you going to do? I can't go out there and have a girl lob the ball. Like, you're not going to win. What are you going to do? I don't even know what other sports like that. I mean, I can't compare it to another sport because I don't know, a soccer with a goalie, that's somebody who can't see.
Yeah, goalie is big. I would say
Goalie.
goalie
I mean,
has,
I
yeah.
don't even
And
know.
honestly, in basketball, even like a ball handler, because we don't have a ball handler, but
Right,
not
but
but
I'm
not
saying,
to the degree of a quarterback.
right, you don't
Yeah.
have a quarterback. We don't have a quarterback, not a starting one. Come
All right,
on.
Kurt, I kept Keith's comment up there because we've been talking about how many drafted quarterbacks fail, right? And he's saying, but how many first round quarterbacks fail because of the terrible team they go to? And later on, even said, is it the team or is it the player? So that's a good question. They those teams that draft them are the terrible teams, right? So which do you think it is? Is it the team or is it the player leading to this drafted quarterback
Well,
failure?
let me ask you something. The Bengals weren't good, right? Bengals were bad. Joe Burrow good,
Yep.
right? I mean, you
Well,
know,
I mean, but are there more cases like that, or
but
are
I'm
there
not
more
here, here,
cases?
here, here. Peyton
He might
Manning,
he might
Peyton
be the
Manning's Colts,
exception.
Peyton Manning's Colts were real bad, right? Year one, they were bad. Year two, they're in the playoffs, right? Like, so, you know what? If you're it and you're that, trust me, you're gonna, Patrick Mahomes could go on the worst team in football. He can go on the Panthers, and the Panthers will be in the playoffs next year. Just with doing nothing else, just putting Patrick Mahomes on the Panthers right now. So, Joe Burrow on the Panthers. You know, Bryce Young's not good. But you think Patrick Mahomes is going to win 2 games or 3 games with Carolina? No. So, I'm not going to say it doesn't work like that at all, but I'm sorry. Like, if you have it and you're there, listen, you'll make it work.
Kurt, the comments are taking your dating advice and turning it. I love it. I got to put a couple of these up here.
Sure.
Keith saying, Kurt, keeping Russ would be like keeping your ex girlfriend around in the house with you and Jen.
No, I totally disagree. I totally disagree with that. No, because the thing is, you have to have a backup, like a backup, like a backup plan. Like, I totally understand. I have no problem of, hey, I'm taking Kirk Cousins. I'd rather have Kirk Cousins than Russell Wilson. Fine, do it. Fine. But you can't say I'm taking Jared Stidham over him. That's no. I'm having Jacoby Brissett over him. No. But with the rookie, what do I owe Russell Wilson? I don't owe Russell Wilson anything. Think about it. Russell Wilson basically did is how Russell Wilson became Russell Wilson is doing what I said he did. Matt Flynn, here's the money, you're the starter, whatever. Russ came in and said, I'm the starter. I'm going to beat you out. And then what they do to Matt Flynn? Bye. We got our starter. We won a Super Bowl with Russell Wilson in his second. I think it was second or third year. They won a Super Bowl, right? So that worked. But
So that Jody's agreeing with you saying, but if your ex is a 7, you need an 8 or better before you move on.
exactly. That's bingo, Jody. Let's do a dating show on K&K. That would be talk about reading.
Well, we kind of are.
But he's right. You can't go from a 7 and say, here's my 2. I mean, stupid.
And Peter pointing out another successful quarterback story on a terrible
Boom,
team,
bang,
right?
bang,
Houston.
bang.
Yeah.
You know what? CJ Stroud just got it. Great job, Peter. He just has it. Just has it. Right? One quarterback had it in CJ Stroud, one didn't in Bryce Young. You know what? They drafted the wrong quarterback. That's it. I'm not going to say Bryce Young is garbage right now, but it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good.
I had Wayne. He was saying I had his personal opinion. George Payton was trying to be Elway, right? Elway got Manning, and he's saying, he said, "I'll get Russ." So trying to follow suit. In his opinion, he felt like he was trying to kind of mimic Elway's ways.
I will always, and I will always say this, okay? Quarterbacks like Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning, they don't become available, right? And when they do, for whatever like the situation is, right? Money wears out your welcome, you know, you gotta do everything you can to go get those players. People like blame George Payton, right? What people don't realize is the Eagles wanted him. The Redskins, like the Eagles were all in. Like Russ chose us, right? Like it wasn't just like Russ chose the Broncos to waive the nose trade clause to go to the Broncos. Like the Eagle, everyone goes and says, "See, look what the Eagles did." What the Eagles did was they drafted Jalen Hurts. That wasn't their first plan. Their first plan was Russell Wilson. And then he said, "No, I'm going to go to Denver." Okay, now we got to go in a different direction. So, the same thing with Aaron Rodgers. When Aaron Rodgers became available, remember, Denver and Tennessee, and like every team was in on Aaron Rodgers, right? And you know what? When you could get, and people are going to see it this year, when Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers this year, everyone's going to be like, "Oh my God, this is the guy that could have been our quarterback and should have been our quarterback." And people are going to go, "That's all the Jets gave up for this guy." It's because there's only certain amount of quarterbacks like that. And when you could go do it, you go do it. I don't blame George Payton at all for the trade, at all. I blame him for the hire of Hackett, and I blame him then for building around Russell Wilson and not doing what Russell Wilson does best. That's what I blame him for. But I make that trade every day. I do it again tomorrow. I make the trade for Aaron Rodgers tomorrow. I sign Peyton Manning tomorrow. If just say Matthew Stafford's available tomorrow, I'm trading for Matthew Stafford. Like those quarterbacks don't become available. And when they do, you have to go get them. Or you do what we've done since 2016. Garbage, 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 garbage. Go get those quarterbacks.
All right, Kurt, shifting gears a little bit. Michael wants to know your thoughts about the Jerry Judy contract with the Browns.
You know, I've always, this probably isn't the best I'm not the best person to ask about this because I think Jerry Judy is a very talented receiver. I think Cleveland overpaid a little right now, giving him that contract without seeing him like, okay, in our system, see what he can do. So to give him that contract, it is a little crazy, Michael. It is. But I think Jerry Judy was just so underused. I mean, he's running fake jet sweeps with Pat Shermer here. He's way more talented than the player we are. He's definitely a first round talent. And I think he's going to show you that. But the extent he got a lot of money. He got a lot of money from Cleveland. That was shocking that I saw that. So I was a little shocked.
All right, we have about 5 minutes left.
Okay.
I want to, like, in a rapid fire fashion from our audience, right? Because this is one of your topics. I want you to expand on it, but I'm hoping our people commenting will kind of just drop their answer in the comments. My question for you, Kurt: Bo Nix or JJ McCarthy?
JJ McCarthy won. Bo Nix after him. I'm warming up to Bo Nix, but I'm taking JJ McCarthy. I love that guy, man. I'm telling you, man crush, Jen, man crush.
Yes, I'm aware.
You know
I'm
what,
aware.
Jen? He has his hair out like Joe, right? Like my nephew Joe. He has got that. He's got a JJ. I don't know if I can do it. I probably can't do it. I don't know if it'll grow that much anymore like that, but I would love to have the JJ McCarthy. I'll try it. if he
All
we
right,
get.
the audience is weighing in. Peter saying Knicks. Pearl is saying JJ. She's saying Knicks no. Michael saying JJ McCarthy many times. Wayne Horton, Bo Nix. Kenny saying JJ. Well, we're mixed. We're mixed. Very mixed. Very mixed. But before
Jen, I would be. I'm not gonna lie. I would be all in with Bo Nix. I mean, my number one choice is JJ McCarthy, but I would be all in with Bo Nix. You know, I just he's got that it factor, man. He does. But but hands down, like Jody's saying, 1000%, JJ is my first option. If I listen, if I would take JJ McCarthy number one, I really would. I think he's going to be the best quarterback in this draft.
All right, we got Jody. I was waiting for his reply. JJ, Trevor, Bo Nix, Keith saying if those are the only two choices, Nix it is. So again, very, very divided
Yep.
there. Interesting, interesting. But all right, Kurt, your closing thoughts.
My closing thoughts are one, I'm still ticked off. I'm still amazed that I'm not going to watch St. John's tomorrow or Friday in this NCAA tournament, and the committee is a joke, corrupt joke, and we'll take care of that, and we'll take care of that. I keep thinking of his name. Rapoli and Patino will take care of that in the offseason with the transfer portal. But other than that, you know, we all have to come to the realization, guys. What was my second one when I said I'm in bed with Sean? Who did I tell the other people they're in bed with? I forgot tonight now.
Well, you said Aaron Rodgers, the Jets.
Oh, yeah, the Jet fans. They're Jets, right. Christian Beelan, all those Jet fans. They're in bed with Aaron Rodgers. So, you know, they're in bed with Rodgers. We're all in bed. Again, we're all in bed here. Everybody on this chat tonight, we're all in bed with Sean. Make sure we say goodnight to Sean. So whatever he wants to do, man, whatever he wants to do. When I say whatever he wants to do, whatever he wants to give up, go get his quarterback. You know, the reality is we could sit here night and day and do podcasts all night. We're not winning with 6th and 7th round picks. We're not winning with backup quarterbacks in the league. We're not going to win with reclamation project. And what I mean win is compete for a championship. All right. Go beat Josh Allen. Go beat Joe Burrow. Go beat Lamar. Go beat Kansas City with Mahomes. You're not going to do that with those kind of players. So don't waste anybody's time. Don't. So let's go. It's Sean Payton. Do whatever you got to do. Hey, I want JJ, Knicks, but I'm all in. So I'm all in. Let's do this. A lot of rumors. It's going to be interesting. Under 40 nights, right, Jen? I think it's under 40 days now for this draft. So
we'll be here before you know it. Then we'll have our answers.
Oh, real quick. Jen, can you give the plug for
Yep.
So Trevor. There's Trevor. I like Trevor's. Read that one. About Kenny. Wait, Kenny's the only one on Kenny's the only one on this chat tonight.
Kenny isn't in bed with Sean Payton. He's not in bed with whatchamacallit?
Dable.
No, he's not in bed with Aaron Rodgers. He's in bed with, is it pronounced Dable?
Dable.
Yeah.
Dable and Shane.
He's
in bed. Kenny's, you know what? Kenny's lucky. Kenny's in bed with two people. He's in bed with Dable and Joe Shane. So he's got both of them. We only got Sean.
So the just a little K&K programming. We have is it Wits and Wagers on Saturday morning this week, Kurt?
No, tomorrow they're doing it.
Tomorrow morning. Okay, yeah. Thursday morning.
Message? He said it tomorrow.
Say again.
He posted it. Wits and Wagers 11.
Oh yeah. Okay.
9
a.m. Yeah.
That's Kenny. I'm not doing it. I'm working. Just for the record, I'm working tomorrow.
You will not be on. You will not be on. If it's streamed to your page, it's not you on it.
That's Kenny streaming. I am not commenting. I will be working hard tomorrow.
Thank you everybody for not only watching but being part of the commenting as well. Mr. Valenti, great show.
Thank you, Jenny Hoops. And I'm just gonna say this for my last thing tonight, Jen. And these are to all my Bronco fans. Let's just go get this guy. Let's go get our quarterback. Let's stop all the BS. What about this guy? What about that guy? No more what about? Go get him and let's start winning. Let's go. Right now, let's go. Starting now. Now I'm not worried about 2030 and I don't care. I'm worried about right now. So let's go get our guy and get this done. Jen, thank you. You're the best in the business at doing that. You do an awesome job with all our people. Thank you for all the comments. It was awesome with the show. And we'll see you guys next week.
All right, real quick, Albert checking in.
Yep.
So thanks for
Oh, what's
checking in,
up,
Wayne.
Albert?
Wayne, have a great night as well. Pearl, thank you for watching. Wayne, let's go Broncos, right? Peter, let's go be great with the
Let's
blue
go.
and orange hearts. Love it. Michael showing the claps.
Let's
Love it.
go,
All the way up
baby.
to the end. Thank you, everyone, for watching.